earthly suits we have, these are important. He has us here for a reason. The Holy Spirit is inside of us. And, there's so many scriptures we can go on because my favorite one is First Corinthians 6:19. But our body temple is His. It is His. He wants us to be healthy because there's a lot of things on earth that He wants us to do. And there are so many people that love us. But when we don't take the opportunity to be serious about our health, that's when dis-ease happens.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Live, Love, Lead podcast, a podcast designed to help you live, love, and lead well. I'm your host, April Nicole Scipio. You guys know I always love hanging out with you on the podcast. If this is your first time joining the podcast, I want to invite you to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. We have amazing conversations here on the podcast to truly help you live, love, and lead well. I am extremely excited today because I have a great friend of mine, Coach T, Terrell Sally Holloman. She is amazing. I cannot wait for you to meet her. But let me tell you, get your journals, get your notebooks. You might even need to get your tissues. I don't know. But I just know this conversation is going to be so powerful. It's going to stretch your thinking and it's really going to push you forward to living a more healthy lifestyle. And so, with that, Coach T, welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Hey, my girl, Coach April, Pastor Coach April in the house. I am so happy that we're doing this together. I've been looking forward to this the minute you shared that you're podcasting your guest again. And I was like, yes, I can't wait to get on the show
I
so
love
we
it. I
can
love
really
it.
talk.
Yeah. So, I, of course, know who you are, but I cannot wait for my listeners to get to know you. Please just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, maybe what season of life you're in, anything you want them to know about the amazing Coach T.
All right, guys. So good to be here. Well, first of all, I'm Coach T, and most people know that I have red glasses today. It's not red, as you can see, but it's all good. I still got glasses on, right? And I am a blood type lifestyle health coach, and I also have a background in nutrition. I'm a speaker. I'm a mom. I have two young adults already out of the house. Oh, goodness. I can't even believe I just said that. Anyway, and I empower purpose driven female professionals and entrepreneurs like yourself that are really looking to rediscover their self worth again by helping them transform those hurts, those habits, and those health issues into holistic lifestyle so they thrive unapologetically while they're here on this earth. So I love what I do as a coach. I love walking. I love exercising. I love swimming. There's so many things, girl. We can really talk about that a little bit as we get more into the show. But that's what I'm about. So back to you right now.
I love that so much. And how did you get into the health industry? I cannot wait for them to hear because the health industry, it is a large industry. There are a lot of people who do a lot of things. Honestly, like watching you flow in this lane. You are anointed for this. I know while a lot of people may be jumping on that bandwagon, no, you are called to this thing. And just how you speak about health, the way you pour into your clients. I know this is a passion for you. I know God has anointed you for this. I would love to hear how you even got started in the health industry.
That's a great question, Coach April. And thinking back on that, it's kind of interesting because my background is accounting and finance. That's what I went to school for. I'm a numbers girl. I was like, that's what I'm going to do all my life. I'm going to have a CPA firm with all these females running with me on it. And that's not what God called in the end. He was like, yo, my daughter, that's not what I really want you to do. What had happened is this: I got diagnosed almost 25 to 30 years ago with a condition called systemic lupus, which I am healed now from. And as a result of that, I went into denial. I couldn't handle that particular diagnosis, and I literally put my head in the sand and I started eating uncontrollably. I was eating late at night, I was eating volumes of food before I went to bed, crying all the time. I just couldn't understand why this was happening to me. And I remember my spouse saying to me, he said, why not you? I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, why not you? You want your friends to have it? I was like, no, you're crying and carrying on. I said, no. So as I dealt with that and then the weight gain and then having my children, it just compounded. So I would say about 11 years of this, just uncontrollably not exercising, my body changing, and doctors, really pleading with me to make some changes. I decided back in 2004, after a deep conversation with my rheumatologist, because that's who you usually have for a condition, autoimmune condition at the time for that. He said, listen, if you do not change your eating habits, if you do not change something, you're going to die. That's exactly what he said to me. And a light went off then, and I said, oh my goodness, are you serious? He said, I'm very serious. I'm looking at all your labs. Terrell, you just cannot continue. You will not be a mom to your mother, to your kids. You will not be a wife to your husband, because he knew my whole family. And he said, I just don't want to see that for you. So I said, okay, what am I going to do? He said, well, you're going to have to figure it out. He said, you're going to have to figure it out. So I'm crying to my husband. And he says, well, here's a credit card. Go to the gym, do something. So one of the ladies that used to be a parent there at the school with the kids, she, invited me to her gym. I went 3 times a week. I did everything I could possibly think of at the gym. And after 18 months, I lost 50 pounds. And I was so excited, girl. I was so proud of myself, right? So I go back to the doctor. Listen, I lost 50 pounds. Da, da, da. That's nice, Terrell. You need to lose more. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? He says, no, I'm serious. You have to lose more. So he said, I want you to swim. I said, I don't know how to swim. Black girls don't swim. I said, I'm not getting my hair messed up. I'm not even trying it. He said, listen, I don't care about your hair. I care about your life. You're going to learn how to swim. So I went to the local pool, hired a swim instructor, learned how to swim, came back to him again, lost 5 pounds. He said, that's nice. You still need to lose more. I was like, what are you doing to me? He said, okay, you're being a hard head right now. He wrote me a prescription, Coach April. I'm telling you the truth. He wrote me a prescription, just like you write a prescription for medication. And he told the company Weight Watchers the weight that he wanted me to get to. So I was totally against this. I went kicking and screaming, but I went anyway to one of the local meetings, and I gave it to the receptionist, and she says, okay. So after 2 years of being involved with them, I lost the rest of my weight, which came up, it was about 100 pounds, and I wound up working for them, and they hired me right there. And that experience for 8 years really guided me to do what I'm doing now, because helping so many, I mean, I helped hundreds of people lose weight, hundreds. I worked for like 16 different companies, going into these big time firms like a Prudential and a Merck, and I would host them with these Weight Watcher meetings, and sometimes I would sub for other people too in the bigger meetings. But I realized then it was like, there's something to helping people really get their weight, and they feel so good about themselves, and then they see me, and they're like, wow, they get so much inspiration. Like, Terrell, how did you do it? What did you do? Da da da. So then I thought about it. I was like, okay, I'm working for them. How about you start working for yourself? I guess God was talking to me, girl. I didn't even know. I know God more intimately now in the last year. But then I was like, I don't know. You're like thinking about it, thinking about it. I said, I don't know what to do. So I went to school. I went to get a certification in nutrition, just to say I have a certificate. I didn't know if anybody would hire me without it. I didn't know any better, right? So I just went and got that done. And then in 2020, when everything shut down, as we know with COVID, Weight Watchers made some changes. And then I made the decision to go out on my own. I made the decision to go out on my own. And I said, God, whatever way this is going to go, I'm just going to do it. I have no back door. I didn't go back to work. I was like, this is it. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do and be led that way. And that's how I started my coaching business. I literally quit WW, and I just said I'll start on my own. And then I invested in certain coaches and certain programs, so I can write out my programs for what I wanted to do for my clients. Because what I found with the company that I was working with, WW, I couldn't be me. I couldn't be me in the sense of they had their own pillars of how they wanted to guide people in with regard to that process. I have my own. And at one point, I felt a conflict and I couldn't continue that way. So I just started on my own. So that's how I started coaching. And you know how things happen, just like you said, your podcast, how you started your podcast. And I started in the space of pain and I didn't feel good about that. So had to pivot and shift. So now I'm into my niche, which is blood type health, because I found with my own journey that really sustained me with first keeping the weight off for 10 years and then healing me in reference to this autoimmune condition that they diagnosed me with. So now that's what I'm doing for everybody else.
Wow. I don't you said it, but I don't want people to miss this. You lost over 100 pounds. Did y'all catch that? And not only
Yes,
that, you kept it off. I mean,
I
that
kept
in
it up.
itself, just to keep off 5 pounds. I mean, let's get real.
Yes, yes, yes,
You know what
yes.
I'm saying? Like, you kept off all this weight. First of all, that's awesome. But I would love to hear your perspective. What is keeping people from not just getting healthy, but staying healthy? Like, you
Yeah.
got yourself healthy, you lost the weight, but you said a word that I love, and that was sustainable. Like, please speak to that because I know so many people who start off on a journey, but they don't know how to stay the journey.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a stat on that if that's okay too. There's a stat that says that most people, and of course, when they do these stats, it's kind of like broad, but they said about 65% of the people after 3 years, unfortunately, gain their weight back. So it's only 35% of the people that really keep the weight off. Now, when we talk about sustainability, first, it's a mindset. That's the first thing. And I'm going to kind of go a different way with this, but just hear me when I say this. Nothing against women or men that want to get the gastric bypass or the sleeve because they're over 100, maybe 200, 300 pounds. I mean, grossly overweight. But me personally, I don't go that route because I feel naturally God has the tools you need in order for you to get rid of the weight. And it starts with your brain. Okay. Yeah, physically you want to get the weight off or you want to feel better and you feel like surgery is the way to go. But if your mind is not ready to accept and do the work and not be double minded, you have to sacrifice in order to sustain this health. I no longer eat Cinnabons. You know that sweet place in the mall. I used to be one of those girls, Coach April. I would go to the mall, right? Kids are in school. I would go to the mall and sit there and eat two or three of those at a time. That's crazy, right? So I had to make sacrifices knowing that just this type of sugar is not good for my body. It's not even good for anybody's body at that rate, right? But I had to make sacrifices knowing that I had to change the way I eat, but also think the way in reference to eating, okay? Because you can see something, and I still do this. This is kind of funny. I'll go to Whole Foods and they have an area where all the sweets are and stuff like that. I just kind of look at it. That's nice, and then I walk past it. That's my way of I don't know. Not everybody can do that, but that's my way of saying, okay, you had your sweet. Let's keep moving. I know not everybody can do that, but we have to take charge and be accountable to ourselves first, and then of course to God with regard to these bodies. I love how you said in our show, our Good Morning Kingdom show, these earthly suits we have, these are important. He has us here for a reason. The Holy Spirit is inside of us, and there's so many scriptures we can go on because my favorite one is First Corinthians 6:19. But our body temple is His. It is His. He wants us to be healthy because there's a lot of things on earth that He wants us to do. And there are so many people that love us. But when we don't take the opportunity to be serious about our health, that's when dis-ease happens. That's when the stress happens. That's when we get stuff like hypertension and obesity going on and the cancer and all these other things that happen to your body because you're not taking the opportunity to really dig deep with our mindset that controls with regard to how we take consume our foods and our drinks and all that great stuff. So,
Yeah.
in terms of sustainability, you just got to be serious about it, and you can't stop. Too many times I've had women in my practice, or even when I was working with WW, they start, stop, start, stop. Your body gets hurt that way,
Mm.
over time it gets hurt that way. So it really starts with our mindset, making it a lifestyle, just like God is our lifestyle. Your health has to be your lifestyle. No way around it.
That's so good. It's so powerful too because mindset, that it takes work to work on your mindset. And so I'm so glad you brought that up because we that means every single person has the capacity to do this, right?
Yep.
Like it's not a quote unquote magic formula or you only if you make a certain amount of money, it's
Right.
like everybody has the choice to really work on their mindset, which is the foundation for not just getting healthy but staying
Staying
healthy.
healthy.
Yeah, and as people are listening in and they're getting their mindset right, they're like, "Okay, I'm getting my mindset healthy because I really do want something different for myself." What else can they do that's like a first step? Should they focus on what they eat? Should they focus on the exercise? Should they focus on the sleep? Like what is the first thing that they should focus on to take that initial step to really push them toward this healthy lifestyle?
I would say this. It depends on the person because everybody's lifestyle is different. In my own journey, I started with working out first. Oh no, I can't really say that because I removed a lot of foods before I even started working out. I removed meats, certain things I removed out of my eating, and then I started working out. So it really depends on the person. I mean, I've had people where they started eating correctly and the weight started coming down, they started feeling better, and then they added the exercise that really boost up their energy and stuff like that. So with I would say eating. I would have to say eating because here in America, I don't know about the rest of the world, and I've been to few places already, but here in America, we stress too much of the processed foods. We stress too much
Mhm.
of the sugar. We can take steps slowly to start with and start eliminating and reducing certain things. Man, you already ahead of the game. How about that soda? You're drinking 5 cans of soda. How about reducing it to like three or two or one in a day until you can get to where it's no more in your life. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
start with little steps because sometimes when we think of the big picture, and I'm just giving you an example. I remember one of the ladies that I was working with, she had this goal. I want to lose like 25 pounds over the next, 30 days, which is it's doable. But how are you going to do that? Okay, if you're still telling me that you're drinking soda, or you telling me you're still eating those Twinkies, this is not going to work. You
Yeah.
got to make a sacrifice somewhere. Where are you going to start, right?
Yeah.
And don't tell me because of the holiday season. I don't want to hear that because I am one of these coaches. I mean, I always say this. I'm for real, for real. I'm going to tell you the truth. The holiday season is the season where most people gain a lot of weight because of all the parties at work and all the family bringing food all over the place. And then you're giving yourself the excuse like it's okay to eat grandma's apple pie. It's okay to have Uncle so and so rib cake. No, honey, no, you're just making it worse for yourself. So why not stay on a steady way and let people know? I mean, some people that
Mhm.
I've had clients, but I don't want to tell anybody that I'm quote unquote getting healthy. Why not? Why not let them know ahead of time? I don't eat that. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
bring a dish that works for me in my household. That's where we're gonna roll. But you got to take charge. You got to be accountable in
Mhm.
reference to that. So it really depends on the person. I work with either way they want to do it, but I usually
Mhm.
start with food because that's everywhere. You go to a wedding, it's food. You go to a funeral, it's food. You
Mhm.
go to the kids' hockey game or football game, they got food. It's food everywhere,
Yeah.
right? So I usually start with that.
That's so good. Like you say, so many social events are like center around food here, at least here in the States. When you get together, the first thing we say, okay, what are we going to eat? Like, what's the menu?
Yeah.
So I love how you brought that up. And I know that people are hearing the conversation. They're excited. They want to take the steps, but I can't help but to think about the
Yes.
people who the
Hmm.
enemy the enemy wants them to feel guilt and shame around their past failures in this area. Like they've tried different things, they've tried the exercise, they feel like they're
Yeah.
on this hamster wheel of gaining weight, losing the weight, gaining the weight, losing the weight, and they feel discouraged. They feel shameful. They feel guilt. Please speak to their hearts because we know that is not God's plan for them to feel guilt, shame, or embarrassment around their health, around their weight. I would love for you just to speak into the lives of people who feel like they are on that hamster wheel.
Yes. Let me share this. I'm gonna share a little story and then kind of go with that, if that's okay with you, Coach April. Oh gosh, Lord Jesus, there was a time in my journey where I felt ashamed. I felt displaced. I felt ugly. I felt not sexy to my husband because I gained all this weight. I was hiding behind a mask. I was hiding food in the closet. I was hiding food under the bed. Okay. This is how deep this was, Coach April. That I didn't know how to come out of it. I was like, how do I climb out of this hole that I felt I was in? This desperation almost, you have to say. So, to speak to anyone that's dealing with that, because I definitely understand how you're feeling, is starting with something, starting with a focal point, an anchor, so you know that you can get better. Because there are scriptures in the Bible, going to the word and reading it and then acting on it. Okay. Because the devil will have you destroyed by this food. He wants you to eat the more sugar. He wants you to eat the processed food because he knows it's this ease is going in the body so that he can kill you faster. But we don't want him to do that, right? We don't want him to do that. So even starting with something small that you can handle and you see success in, oh my gosh, that's like, thank you, Jesus. To give you a starting point, how about starting with something as simple as adding more water in your day? Something as simple as that. Can I fill up my water bottle at least twice or three times a day? Can I add some lemon in it to help detox and get those icky things out of my body? I could start with that. Or I can start with the fact that in the mornings when I'm eating Frosted Flakes cereal or Apple Jack cereal, find another cereal that has more, or find another type of breakfast that can use for your blood type. You need help with that, I'll let you know. That could definitely boost my energy, can make me feel a little bit better about myself. Because when we take the time to plan, to prep, to shop, grocery shop for foods that serve our body, you feel so much better about yourself. Then you want to do it again and again and again until you get to the point where you're feeling so vital and so much life in your body that you can't go back. There's no way I'm going to go back. And that's how I think about it. I still have pictures, Coach April, of myself when I was 50 pounds heavier. And I keep it in my pocketbook just as a reminder. You're not going back there, girl. There is no way you come back. I mean, it's 10 years now, so it's okay. But I mean, the first couple of years when I was going through my journey, I kept it as a reminder. There's no way, devil, you ain't gonna get me back there because I know what I need to do. And get help. Sometimes, we want to do this by ourselves, but this is a journey, I believe, especially in your health, that you need a support system. You need a community to work with you. You need a coach. I've had a client that her doctors told her to hire a health coach, and she hired me because they said they can't do everything, right? They can't, you think about it, they really can't. They only get 15 minutes, 20 minutes with you. And a lot of times you need a lot more in reference to your journey in terms of getting healthy. So I would say that in terms of helping someone, I understand the shame, I understand not feeling your best, I understand the being miserable, but we don't want you in that space because that's not being free. We want you to be free, and being free is looking and actually following and having the faith to do the work, because faith without work is dead. We know that. uh to do the work so that you can, listen, your people want you here. They don't want to see you going or being in a hospital because you didn't take care of yourself. you know we don't want that to happen to you. So you got to start with you first, be accountable to you second, and ask the Lord to continue to guide you properly so that you can knock this out and kick this to the curb, this dis-ease in your body.
Yes, yes, and yes. Do y'all see why I love her? Y'all see why I love her. Coach T, this has just been amazing. I know people are like, how do I work with her? Please let us know any programs you have available, any resources, how to connect with you, how to hire you, because I know, especially we're coming up on the holidays, like you said, and people need the help. They need the coach. They need the accountability. And I want them to be able to get connected with what you have going on. So definitely let us know.
Okay, that's great that you should ask that question. I have a course coming out December 6th. Yes, you guys want to get in because I'm only limiting to a certain amount of students for this, and it's concentrated. It's a 4-week mini course, but it's really 6 weeks, to be honest, because I'm giving bonuses weeks too. And it's called Boost Your Body because in Boost Your Body, we boosting your body right during the season. Someone asked me when I was talking about it, they were like, why are you doing it here? During the holiday. It's even more important to do it during the holiday because we don't want you gaining those 30, 40 pounds into the new year, the calendar year, right? So this is the opportunity, guys, where you'll learn so much about your blood type and exactly which foods are working for you. We're going to do grocery shopping, reading labels. We're going to talk about how we're going to do our menus and prepping and planning. I'm going to teach people how to do that, teach them how to do certain exercises. Believe me, people don't understand your blood type, and there's 4 different kinds. Um, does a lot of things for your body, including your mood, your personality, even in reference to our sexual habits. So there's a lot of things that goes with your blood type that I'm excited to teach my students for. So look forward for that. It's definitely here. Ask me for the link. I'll be glad to give that to you. But to contact me on a regular basis, just hit my website, which is Living Loving You Well, the name of my company. It's so easy, right? Living Loving You Well.com. That's another way to get a hold of me. So that's it.
Yes, thank you so much, Coach T. I will make sure in the show notes of the episode that we have the links to your course so people can access that. Also, links to connect with you on social media, your website, all the places, because you are so gifted and anointed in this area. And I know that people's lives are going to be changed just from connecting with the things that you offer. So, thank you for your time
Thank
today.
you.
I
Yes,
appreciate you so
me
much. Oh my
too.
goodness, Coach T. I love you so, so
I
much.
love you too. That's my sis girl. Y'all don't know.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I know you guys found value in today's episode. And so do me a favor, share this episode out. Tag me at April Nicole Sip. Tag at Live Lovely Media. Let's spread this message of hope and encouragement because we are getting our health on point as we close out the
Yes.
new year. I
Yes.
love you guys with the love of Christ. Have an amazing rest of your day. And until next time, go live, love, and lead well. Have a great day.
Yes. Have a good day.